Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. So dear student, today in this lecture we will discuss the basic component that are present in nephron. And what is nephron? Nephron is the basic structure and functional unit of the kidney. Kidney is the main organ of the urinary system, which consists of small units which are called nephrons. Now nephron consists of different parts: renal corpuscle, proximal convoluted and proximal straight tubule, loop of Henle, distal convoluted and distal straight tubule, and collecting tubule. It is important to note that each kidney has approximately 1 to 4 million nephrons, each kidney, and most of the kidney has 2 million nephrons. So this is the nephron count per kidney. Here I am drawing simple structure of the nephron, and after this in next lecture inshallah we will discuss, explain every part, this part with great explanation. Now nephron consists of different parts: renal corpuscle, proximal and straight, distal convoluted, and so on. So this is first part of the nephron, which is playing a role in filtration. This is renal corpuscle. Each consists of Bowman capsule and glomerulus. This is the Bowman capsule. Here arteries come and blood filtration occur, and these arteries are known as glomerulus arteries. Actually, the diameter of these arteries is smaller. These are the glomerulus artery, and this part is called glomerulus. This is called glomerulus. What is this? This is glomerulus region. Glomerular region. These are the arteries that bring blood to the renal corpuscle, and these arteries are known as afferent arteries. These are actually arterioles because their diameter is very small. These are the afferent arterioles, and these are efferent arterioles because they bring blood away from the renal corpuscle. This region that contain glomerulus capillary, these are the capillaries that are called glomerular capillaries. Afferent arteriole plus efferent arteriole and glomerulus capillary form a structure which is called glomerulus. Okay, this is the first part of the renal corpuscle. The second part of the renal corpuscle is Bowman capsule. What is this? This is Bowman's capsule. I will inshallah discuss in detail this structure after this lecture. This is Bowman capsule, and this capsule consists of two layers of cell. One is this layer, which is called as parietal layer, and it consists of squamous epithelial cells, which is simple squamous epithelium. Also there are present other cell called podocytes that make visceral layer, but this is the thing I will discuss later. This is the Bowman capsule. Bowman capsule plus glomerulus is collectively called renal corpuscle. After the renal corpuscle, there is another very convoluted and very lengthy part of the nephron, which is called proximal convoluted tubule. And this is proximal convoluted tubule. I cannot start its full length because the space is insufficient here. So this is called as proximal convoluted tubule. This is proximal convoluted tubule. Here I am writing it in proximal convoluted tubule in short form. This is the proximal convoluted tubule. Proximal convoluted tubule is followed by another part which is known as proximal straight tubule. Here in this way, this is the proximal straight tubule. What is this? This is the PST. PST mean proximal straight tubule. It is important to note that the renal corpuscle and proximal convoluted tubule are present in the cortex region, which you know that cortex is the outer region of the kidney. This is the renal corpuscle and this is the proximal convoluted tubule. These are the two portions of the nephron that are present in the renal cortex. Renal proximal straight tubule. This move downward toward the middle region, and this is present. Some part of this is present in the renal cortex, and other is present in the renal medulla. After the proximal straight tubule, there is present another region which is called loop of Henle or Henle's loop, and this is present mainly in the middle region. This is loop of Henle or Henle's loop. This is the loop of Henle or Henle's loop. This is descending loop of Henle, thin descending. This is the ascending loop of Henle, and this is the thin ascending loop of Henle. After this loop of Henle widens, and this is called thick ascending loop of Henle. This is the thicker, and this is the thin ascending loop of Henle, and this is the thin descending loop of Henle. The major portion of this Henle's loop is present in medullary region. As we move toward the cortical region, there is another portion which is called distal tubule, and distal tubule consists of first region which is called distal straight tubule. This is the distal straight tubule. Distal straight tubule. This is this distal straight tubule, and after this is present a very convoluted region of the nephron which is called distal convoluted tubule. But it is important to know that proximal convoluted tubule is more convoluted as compared to distal convoluted tubule, and the length of proximal convoluted tubule is also greater than that of distal convoluted tubule. In proximal tubule first comes convoluted tubule, but in distal tubule first comes straight tubule. This is the distal convoluted tubule. After this we have another region which is called collecting tubule. This is the collecting tubule which accumulate urine from this portion of the nephron, and then it drain into the another portion which is called collecting duct. This is collecting tubule, and this is collecting duct. You should know the difference. These are collecting tubules of different nephron. This is the collecting tubule and this is the collecting duct. It is important to note that collecting duct is not a part of nephron. This is the collecting duct which is not a part of the nephron. It is important to know that nephron plus collecting tubule form a unit which is sometimes called urinary ferrous tubule. This is collecting tubule and this is the nephron. This is collectively sometimes called urinary ferrous tubule. So this is all about the basic structure of the nephron. So you should know that renal corpuscle, proximal convoluted tubule, and some part of the proximal straight tubule is present in renal cortex, while most region of the Henle loops is present in medulla, and distal convoluted tubule is also present in the cortex. And this is collecting tubule, which what it do, it bring the blood and reaches the pelvis region, which is then moved to the ureter. So this is the basic structure of the nephron. Now, on the basis of location of the renal corpuscle, which look granular under the microscope, nephrons are classified into two main portions: cortical nephron and juxtamedullary nephron. Among these, the two are superficial cortical nephron and mid-cortical nephron, which are the part of cortical nephron, and the juxtamedullary nephron. Now we will discuss the length of the roof of Henle, which is different in all the three cases, and their location of renal corpuscle. This is the kidney. Okay. I will draw those structures with which we are concerning. This is the kidney. This is the cortex of the kidney, and this is the medulla of the kidney. Superficial cortical nephron. First of all, you should know that these are the cortical nephron. Cortical nephron mean that their renal corpuscle is present in the cortical region. But another name, superficial. Superficial mean that very high. So their renal corpuscle are present very high in the renal cortex. I am drawing that this is the renal corpuscle of these nephron. Okay. Another thing that their loop of Henle is short loop of Henle. And what is the length of this, and to what extent that is moved in the kidney? It is short loop of Henle, and it extends to this region. It does not move into the medulla. So this is the loop of Henle, which is short, and their renal corpuscle is present in the outer region of the cortex. Another type of cortical nephron is mid-cortical nephron. It is called mid-cortical nephron because their renal corpuscle is present in the middle region of the cortex. And this is the convoluted tubule, this is the straight, and their loop of Henle is slightly lengthy as compared to superficial cortical nephron, and this extends slightly into the medulla. This is the superficial mid-cortical nephron. Another type of nephron is juxtamedullary nephron, and this nephron has renal corpuscle located at the junction of the medulla and the cortex. So this is the junction of the medulla and the cortex. Here their renal corpuscle is present, and it is important to note that their loop of Henle is longest out of all, and it extends deep into the medullary region. So there are three types of nephron: superficial cortical nephron, which have their renal corpuscle present in the outer region of the cortex, and it has shortest loop of Henle. Another type of nephron is mid-cortical nephron, which has their renal corpuscle present between the in the mid region of the cortex, and this has slightly longer loop of Henle as compared to that of superficial cortical nephron. Another is juxtamedullary nephron, which is their renal corpuscle present at the junction between cortex and the nephron, and this is the longest loop of Henle. It has the longest Henle's loop, and this is and mid-cortical nephron is the length of the Henle loop between the superficial cortical nephron and juxtacortical nephron. So these are the different of nephrons. Here I can mention their name. This is superficial cortical nephron, this is mid-cortical nephron, and this is juxtamedullary cortical nephron. So these are the classification of nephron on the basis of their location of renal corpuscle. It is the renal corpuscle located in this region, and this region. These are the renal corpuscles. After this, we will inshallah discuss with explanation what is a renal corpuscle. We will discuss glomerulus and Bowman capsule, very cellular structure we will discuss. So this is all about nephron, and